Alright, let's see what I have here. Okay, let me pull out my ninja sword. The Viltrox 23mm F1.4 for the Sony E-Mount. I didn't know that they actually released this already. I heard a lot of good things on the Fuji mount. So as soon as I saw this guy, I just had to pick it up. Comes with a pouch. It's very cool. Oh, this lens is small. Insulated. Very good. Wow. This thing is tiny. This feels like plastic, but it's not. But they said this is aluminum or something. Oh, actually it is. Oh, look at this. 1.4 with the aperture ring. Wow. I don't know if this aperture ring actually works on the Sony, because it doesn't seem like it does anything. Alright. This is my Sigma 56 1.4. The size of this, it's almost very similar to the size, the 23mm. I love the focal ring, the focal length of the 23, because on a crop sensor it's a 35mm. I just think it's very much the perfect focal length to me, because it's you know, some people like it wider, some people like it shorter. I actually think the 35 focal length would be perfect, because then it works out for indoor and outdoor perfectly fine. I take picture of, you know, kids, nephews and nieces, and when you have a wide angle, much wider than this, which I actually bought in return, when they're outside, it's just way too small. When you take pictures for the kids when they're outside with a wider focal length, they look so tiny. But at the same time, if you put in a longer focal length in the indoor, it's kind of hard to get a group picture in of any more than 3 or 4 people. That's why I always use this. This is pretty much my go-to lens. It's always been stuck in my camera for 80% of the time. Now I have this guy. This probably would be on there for at least 50-60% of the time, and I don't really need to use that anymore. I just wanted to keep this on at all times. So this looks good. I'm gonna see how this works, and I'll check back with you guys. I get some sample pictures. Let's check out the autofocus of this guy. Autofocus is pretty quick. And this is at 1.4. You able to see the bokeh? The out of background blur? It's pretty good. Possibly about maybe a feet, 12 inches away, maybe from this. As you can see, the image at the center is definitely sharp. However, the vignette of the side is a little bit dark. This is at 1.4, and the picture, the background blur is pretty much completely blown out. It's really nice, smooth. So I took a series of these pictures at aperture 1.4, and here's one at 2.8. You can see the sharpness. One at 5.6. 5.6 looks much sharper. The background is not as blown out. And F8. I didn't go any further than that. You know, you can test it out with F8. Pretty much the background, you can see it pretty well, and it's really sharp at the lens. And also, I took a picture with my Sigma 56 1.4. This is a extremely sharp lens. The Viltrox is, I can say, it would not come. It comes close, but not as good as not as sharp as the 56 1.6, of course. I'll get more pictures of when I'm using it. So I am now at the beautiful Echo Park, out with my Sony A6600 and the new Viltrox 23mm F1.4. So I'm here at the Lotus, what do you call this? Lotus Garden at Echo Park. Echo Park is a beautiful, beautiful park nearby the downtown LA area. But now it's more becoming a homeless shelter at this moment. You can see there's more and more homeless people moving in. But anyway, that's not our conversation. So I'm going to be trying out this Viltrox 1.4. We'll see how this works. I'll get some picture comparing to some of my other lenses. Let's go. This is what a 35mm will look like, the field of view. And as well as here is the view of downtown. Here's the Lotus pot at 1.4. And here's a pot at f4. It's a lot sharper and more contrast. Here's another one, a flower at 1.4. Here's one at f2. Just to throw in the mix, there's a picture of my Sigma 56 at 1.4 and a 56 at f2.8. And here are some pictures, 1.4, and you can see a lot of purple fringing at 1.4. At f2.8, it clears up. Here's a f2.8 and a 5.6 a lot more sharper, no more fringing. And here's an edited picture that I have, just to let you see what it looks like after edited. Alright, well, a little complaint about this lens. There's not a whole lot to complain about. I really like the lens and the quality. The build is actually very good. However, I mean, people have mentioned it on the Fuji X mount about this aperture ring. You know, it's really nice to have, but it's way too smooth. It's easily you can change this aperture ring, just taking it out from the bag. I put it in the bag, and as soon as I take it out, it seems like the aperture ring, the aperture is at it's moved ever so slightly. So, you know, it's nice to have, but I'm not a big fan of it. So that's just the one little complaint.